Where?
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's
crazy,
News,
isn't it?
Traffic and Weather
This
Station.
weather.
News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
This is Eddie Dane at Daly Plaza.
What are we doing? Who is this helping?
Protesters arrested outside of the Broadview Detention Center speak out after many cases are dismissed.
Chicago police releasing a report that focuses on putting more officers on city streets. Plus, the Artemis II launch is currently a no-go pending the evaluation of an issue with a key safety system. We'll get the latest now from CBS News coming up. In business.
Another day of gains for Wall Street. The Dow finished up 0.5%, the Nasdaq gained 1.2%. The S&P ended the day up 0.7%. I'm Dan Schwartzman at Bloomberg.
It's 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King at Kennedy Space Center. The astronauts have been aboard the Artemis II spacecraft for almost 3 hours.
Commander, OTC, you're on Earth 1.
OTC, CR has you loud and clear.
Good, come, welcome, sir.
But after a smooth countdown, there is an issue. Not with the rocket or the spacecraft, but with a Space Force destruct system that would keep the rocket from hitting land and people if something were to go wrong.
At this moment, the range is no-go.
NASA's Daryl Nail says it's a communications issue involving the ability to transmit and receive destruct commands if sent. Trying to resolve it using Space Shuttle-era equipment. NASA's launch window opens in 1 hour 24 minutes. It has 2 hours to launch, so there is time to hopefully resolve the issue. I'm Peter King at the Kennedy Space Center. Now with more CBS News, here's Jennifer Kuiper.
President Trump will deliver an address to the nation tonight at 9 Eastern Time. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The White House says President Trump will discuss Operation Epic Fury, which it describes as a decisive campaign of American strength that is systematically dismantling the Iranian regime's ability to threaten the United States and the free world. Ahead of the speech, the president said Iran's president has asked for a ceasefire, something Tehran has flatly denied.
The national average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas is now up to nearly $4.10 as the war with Iran drags on. The average a month ago was $2.99. Joshua Harris manages a fresh fish distributor in Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Our deliveries prices will have to go up. Incoming prices are already rising because of the fuel costs. They charge more to bring stuff to us. The boats have to pay more for their diesel fuel, so the prices increase in that way too.
The U.S. has lifted sanctions on Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, strong signal that the U.S. recognizes her as a legitimate authority in that country. With President Trump listening to arguments by his Solicitor General, U.S. Supreme Court justices have heard both sides regarding Trump's executive order to end automatic birthright citizenship for anyone born in the U.S. CBS's Jan Crawford says it appears a few of the conservative justices did not agree with the Trump position.
This is probably the most consequential case the Supreme Court will have this term, certainly. But I thought that the arguments themselves kind of fell flat by the end. And the justices themselves seem to start kind of almost checking out.
Republican leaders in Congress and President Trump have unveiled a plan to end the partial government shutdown and fully fund the Department of Homeland Security. It mirrors a framework that the Senate pursued last week before it was quickly batted down by House Republicans. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony Nicole. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Chicago's News, Traffic and Weather Station. News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It is 4:03 Wednesday, the first day of April. A new month begins. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have 39 degrees, cloudy skies with that north wind that feels more like single digits, kind of a raw day this afternoon. But as it has been the last couple of weeks, temperatures change drastically tomorrow for highs in the 70s. But with that comes for the potential for storms. We're keeping our eye out on the radar. AccuWeather is going to join us and tell us all about it coming up at 4:15. But first, we begin with an update to a story we've been covering since November of last year. More than 100 people have been charged with felonies, misdemeanors, and ordinance violations that stem from all the protests outside of the Broadview ICE facility since the start of Operation Midway Blitz. As it stands, most of the cases have been dismissed, but several people appeared in downtown courtroom for an update today. Our top story from WBBM's Andy Day.
Amanda Yaruso with the National Lawyers Guild Chicago says roughly 20 more criminal cases tied to protests in Broadview have been dismissed, though 20 others are still pending.
It's our position upon review of the body-worn camera, which is the primary evidence in this case, that the evidence does not support the arrests and charges brought against our clients.
NLG Chicago has represented more than 100 protesters, with the majority of cases tied to obstructing officers or violating curfew in the area being dismissed. Here at Daily Plaza, a number of those arrested called the entire situation absurd.
The state is wasting its own scarce resources to agonize over whether I deserve to be brutalized and charged for standing in the wrong part of the street, and I am wasting the pro bono hours of an attorney who could be working to support people who were actually detained.
I know there were people who had gotten arrested protesting at Broadview before I went, but some of my neighbors risk arrest every time they go outside.
What are we doing? Who is this helping?
At Daily Plaza, Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago Police Department looking at ways to put more officers on the street.
The Chicago Police Department has released its full workforce allocation study conducted by an outside consulting group. Police say the study will be used as a blueprint for the continuous review and analysis of department staffing. Among the specifics, the study says 604 positions should be civilianized. This would allow Chicago police officers currently in those roles to be placed in other positions, such as field patrols. Another goal is more efficient and timely responses to calls in every Chicago police district. Terry Keschner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
3 years after a murder, charges are now filed in an Indiana cold case.
The Lake Station Police Department in Northwest Indiana announced one count of murder, among other charges, against Kashawn Ray Perkins, Keontae Maurice Perkins, and Mariana Jeanette Puntes in connection to the killing of 17-year-old Demetrius Harbor in 2022. The teenager's body was found in an alley, and after a lengthy investigation, the case went unsolved. The department says in early 2025, detectives formed a cold case unit, making Harbor's case a top priority. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Also in Indiana, the governor cracking down on online predators and giving parents more power to protect their kids.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun has signed 2 new laws aimed at shielding Indiana children from online exploitation. The first requires social media platforms to get verifiable parental consent before allowing kids under 16 to create accounts, and restricts direct messaging and algorithm-driven content for younger users. Now, the second law raises penalties for predators who possess or distribute child sex abuse material and tightens offender registration requirements. Indiana State Police arrested nearly 500 people for crimes against children just last year and rescued 126 kids from ongoing abuse. Governor Braun says he's expanded the state's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force by 50 officers, bringing it to more than 500 statewide. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, our recent warm weather carrying migratory birds through the Chicago area, including one breed you may not expect, American white pelicans. Carolyn Lewick is the president of the Lake County Audubon Society. She says the arrival of the large water birds is a good sign about conservation efforts and the health of our waterways.
They'll gather in these large groups and soar in what's called kettles. So they're going to fly on these air currents, the thermals, and then when they find a large body of water, they're going to land sometimes individually, and sometimes they'll just all of a sudden descend in these huge groups. But they've been doing it for a very long time. We're just seeing them in larger numbers because we have more habitat for them to land on.
The giant birds fly along waterways, stopping here on the way to their summer locations further north in the U.S. and Canada. Well, bad news for White Sox fans. The home opener has been pushed back to Friday due to heavy rain in the forecast tomorrow. All tickets for Thursday's postponed game will be honored for Friday's 1:10 game against the Toronto Blue Jays at Wright Field. It's 4:08. We're going to talk about the weather and how we're going to need a lot of rain.
What's up, everybody? It's 4:08 p.m. It's April Fools. Oh. Yeah. What are we doing today again? Is this a dream? Nah, it's not a dream. It's reality. Yeah, you're up. It's cold, and it's April 1st. And you're watching some dude in a truck driving around talking about the city. We're actually going to the shooting scene over here, the shootout between cars over here. Now we're finding out By the way, SubX.News, it's 4:08 p.m., April 1st, 2026. What we're finding out here is it wasn't one person hurt, it was 2 persons hurt, and CPD did not put that in their official communications. We heard it on the radio. So what I'm going to have to do is ask communications, why did they leave that out? Wow, they put Build Back Better everywhere, even on the fire station. Look at that. What does that have to do with anything? Right here, this one, the shootout happened right here, right? Everybody knows that. So the 2 cars were shooting at each other, or 1 car was shooting at each other. I don't know how it was happening. 1 car was actually going in reverse over here. And then what we're hearing now is not only was there a person shot, a bystander, but another guy was hit by a car. So it happened right here, right? The cars ended up right there, right? And they hit that Ralph Lauren or Lewis right there, Ralph Lauren. The car hit right there. And then the other 2 cars were over there. So, but what we're finding out from multiple, and we heard it on the radio call, so we confused that with the double murder. Because at the same time, the double murder happened on Washington, right? So I confused the 2, and they started saying, oh, 1 shot, 2 broken legs. And I said, oh, what's that mean? And I said, oh, maybe the guy jumped out of the 2nd floor over there on Washington, right? When the guy busted into the apartment to kill him. Because the two radio calls were coming in at the same time. But now, a day or 2 later, now that I'm learning this, here there was a shootout between cars, or 1 guy shooting at a car, whatever it was. And I know on the radio call said 1 guy was shooting out of the car out of the back window at the other car. Crashed, and a lady got shot, and 1 guy had 2 broken legs here. That's what happened. On Washington, it was a double murder. Ex-boyfriend kicked in the door, killed 2 people. And they were both gang members, it sounds like. They were in the gang. I don't know, they're gangster disciples or something, something. I don't know which ones they were, but I seen a post about them. I'll post a little later when I figure out what the names are. And then I'll give it that. So, we're just... Look, we report on the news as it happens, right? So we're giving you stuff as we go. Man, those are all migrants there, huh? With those bicycles there. Huh? They're probably working at Whole Foods, delivering foods here. So it takes a day or 2 to get the information out, and we do need those legacy medias because they have the lawyers and they have the resources and the connections because they are big. They get billion-dollar companies. I'm just a guy that drives around in his truck talking about stuff, right? And listen to a radio feed. So we do always need the legacy media. You need big corporations, you need big organizations, and you need medium organizations, you need small persons, and you need independent people. You need it all. It makes the ecosystem go, whether you're talking about the news or businesses or manufacturing. So that's what we know about those crimes. The big story that's coming out, besides the boulders that we showed you yesterday, today's story is what? AIDS is on the rise. And the rise happened during Brandon Johnson's time. Mr. Social Justice. Mr. I protect gays. Mr. I protect blacks. Mr. I protect Hispanics. Mr. While I'm mayor, AIDS goes up. How about that one? The man who supposedly protects people, is the one who harms the people. Who gets mostly arrested? Blacks. Who gets mostly killed in Chicago? Blacks. Young black men. Now we're finding out what? The Hispanics are being infected by AIDS. And in a little sentence they say, oh, it might be because of migration patterns. There's a sentence in that article WBZ put out. I'm going to go for the original report. I haven't put that out there yet. I want to see what they said. But they said, oh, yeah, it's due to migration patterns because they don't have the same education and they don't have the same vaccination, right? And then they say, and this is how the WBZ puts it, or the health department put it. Oh, and access to health care. What? They get free health care. They don't have to pay for nothing. I watched them. I showed you those videos 3 years ago, didn't I? They would come into town. Did I show you those migrant videos? They would come and they were already known what to do. They would come to the landing zone, whether it was on Jefferson or whether it was on Des Plaines over there, and they would automatically call an ambulance, and they would all go into the ambulance and get shipped to a hospital, and from there they would go to a hotel. They already knew the scam. I got it on video. If you want to look up migrant EMS or migrant emergency, right? Look it up. I got about tons of videos, 2-3 years old already. So now we're finding out that the migrants are infecting other Hispanics in Chicago with AIDS. So we paid for what? We paid for crime. We paid for illegals to kill 18-year-olds. That guy who killed 18, he was paid by Chicago. He has a free room, free board, free food. He got paid by our city to kill that 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman. He was paid. The city paid him to kill that girl. The city paid him. That's a fact. Don't get away from that. The city paid that man to kill that girl. He was a hired killer. He was paid by the city to have a free room, free food, free health care, and he got a gun somewhere, and then he killed an American citizen. Now we're finding out the next week, that happened last week. When did she get killed? Last week or 2 weeks ago? Now we're finding out this week that they're infecting the Hispanic community in Chicago with AIDS. We're finding out that the migrants are now infecting people with AIDS. How much worse can this story actually get for us in the city? How much worse can it get? You have Kia boys shooting people and carjacking people, never been taken care of. And that's a black mayor. He doesn't take care of the black community like he says. He says, I'm a black man, I'm going to take care of my black people, and I'm going to do this, right? Doesn't he keep saying? That's his words, not my words. Yet, we see black kids getting harmed every day. Shot, harmed, and you can say, well, arrest them, put them, and locked up. So he says he protects black people, but yet they get shot, killed, and arrested. How's that protecting them? That's not protecting anybody. And now we're finding out what? That migrants kill Americans, and now today we're finding out what? That migrants are infecting us with AIDS. Oh, by the way, in TB. Did I forget that migrant who shot Gorman had TB too? So he was walking around with tuberculosis. Oh, and did I mention, I forgot this one. Measles outbreak. And they covered that one up. I should probably just go straight here, but we'll go look around here. We'll see what's going on around here. Where are we at here? I don't know. It's 4:16. So did I tell you that I was investigating a measles outbreak when the kid, John Carlos, died over at the shelter? The little kid, right, died of 4 infectious diseases. And coroner's office and the health department covered up the measles outbreak at the time. They refused to give out information on that. So we're getting infected by measles, we're getting infected by HIV, we have people killing our citizens, right? And what's the mayor doing? If you listened into that report, it was really telling in that report. What did that report say? We need to transfer people from police officer duties to administrative duties. It should be the reverse. We should be taking people who are administrators and putting them back on the beat. What did you hear? Listen to that report. It said, we need to put more people in administrative duties. What, are you kidding me? That's how tone deaf and destructive the people that are running our city, including some of the legacy media, the NGOs, the universities, and the professors. Can I go over here on Rush Street? Yeah, let's go over here to Rush Street. There we go. Alright, what's up? Yeah, correct. You can't, there's actually a juvenile policy that was passed on, that Brandon Johnson put on the police department that says, the first step is not to arrest juveniles. You have to do interdiction or some crap language. They use fancy language, you know what I mean? I know all of that language. I gotta forget it because I've been out of that sphere for a long time. But he said, yeah, we have to non-arrests. And if you heard last night, I put that one in Lake Park where a car got shot up. Did you see that report I put up? It's very telling. They heard shooting and they saw shooting. These cops. It was down on Lake Park by 39th Street, somewhere around that area, right? And the cops said on the radio, look at the video. It's up there. It says the shooting Lake Park. I put it up at about 4 in the morning, I think. And the cops said, we seen it or heard it. And the dispatcher said, are you following? And you can hear the way she said it, asking. And they said, no, we're not following. We're not following. So you kind of get it. They hear shooting, they see shooting, but they don't stop it. It's like what happened at the Teen Trend down in Hyde Park. I showed you the videos. I showed you the video at 55th Green Line. I showed you the videos from 54th Street there? What was I on? 54th? I was on 54th, 52nd. I was on all those streets. You seen the cops laughing. Didn't you see them laughing? On the street corners, they were laughing. While the kids were jumping on the cars in the neighborhood. Didn't you see that video? Their kids were smashing cars while they were laughing on the street corners. This morning, you heard what? Oh, we're watching them, shooting them. We're not following them. So you have people shooting people with guns, shooting cars, and the police do nothing about it. They let them shoot, and they let them drive around. That's what you heard this morning. Read it. That's not the first one. Look up a case. I reported it, and so did CWB. There was a famous case. Now, there's 2 cases. I think it's the same one, maybe. Where the police actually saw the robbery happening in real time. They were watching it, and you can hear them on the dispatch saying, we see them robbing people with guns. So the CWB has it, and I have it. It's harder for me to find mine because mine's on a social media, right? And they said, we see them, we're going to go get them, or I don't know what the cop said. And you can hear, so there's dispatchers, and then there's people above the dispatchers. They listen to this all the time. And someone comes on the radio and says, you are not to engage. You are not to follow. Disengage. It said that right on the radio call. That's what you just heard on the radio today. They say they want to put 600 more administrators into cops. Why? So they can stop the policing. They want more crime. I don't know what they're going to get from State Street. Is it open? Did they open this or not? Let's see. Did they finally open the bridge? Alrighty, there we go. Woohoo! Good news. They opened the State Street Bridge. There we go. That's news today. Hey, it's an exclusive. Exclusive reporting, 4:21 p.m. Man, they didn't even fix the potholes here, though. State Street Bridge is open, but they forgot to fix the potholes. Ooh, everybody. It was closed, right? For a little while. There you go. State Street Bridge. State Street Bridge is open, but for some reason, they didn't fix the potholes. So they closed this bridge for I don't know how many months, but yet you still got potholes there. There you go. Beautiful, isn't it? 4:22 p.m. April 1st, 2026. Maybe that's the April Fool's joke saying, oh yeah, we closed it to fix it, but wink, wink, we really didn't fix it. We just closed it. There you go. Exclusive reporting. SubX.News, downtown Chicago. And we got that going on now in front of us. We're going to go down Wacker. There you go. So there you go. They opened the bridge up. Yeah, that's what they said, George. You can't arrest everybody, and crime is what did they say? Policing and jailing is racism, right? I guess. So yeah, criminal conduct is racism. I went into, did I ever tell you this story? I'd say it every few years. I'll say this story. And then we'll go to the 4:30 news. I used to be a teacher at Hyde Park Career Academy, down on 63rd and Stony Island. And whatever, I was fresh out of school. I knew all of the blah, blah, blahs. And I used to write these kids up for not coming into class. for disrupting the class, violence in the class, all kinds of things. So finally one of my administrators came. I don't know what this one kid did. He did something bad. I don't know what he did. State Street Bridge is finally open, but I don't know, they didn't fix the potholes. So what did they actually do over here? 4:21 p.m., April 1st, 2027. So I wrote these kids up, and the first thing the person came to me and says, you know, he has a IEP, right? And I said, what does an IEP have to do with anything? He goes, well, he's got an instructional, whatever that is, IEP. It's for handicapped kids, right? They say they have a mental or physical disorder, so they have an IEP, and somehow you're supposed to treat them different. And I know the law, because I just came out of school, and I'm like, yeah, that has nothing to do with this. They go, oh, he has IEP, you can't write him up. I said, sure you can. Well, he's got a behavioral IEP. He's behavioral. And I said, yeah. But he did he violated the student code of conduct. He harmed, I don't know if he harmed a person or he stole something. I don't remember what he did. Right? And I got a bunch of these. And they said, well, you can't do this. I said, listen, whatever his IEP says, whatever his mental thing says, that don't mean he didn't do a crime. In fact, it's a lie, because IEP it's for instructional support and delivery, meaning you have to adjust your educational delivery to their handicap. It's like putting a handicap parking space, right? It's like having a sign language, right? When somebody can't speak. So sorry about that. I don't know why I lose connection right here. There's no buildings in this area. So I was talking about IEPs and students, right? So IEP is not for not being written up for discipline. IEP is for instructional delivery. Like I said, it's like fixing the curb, right? For a wheelchair. It's like if somebody can't hear, they do sign language, braille, all of that. That's IEP stuff. It's to do with a handicap. It has nothing to do with discipline, right? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. In fact, if they are acting out in discipline, that's an administrator's fault. That means the school is not taking care of what they need to take care of. And I used to tell that to the parents when I used to write their kids up. They said, you can't write my kid up. He has an IEP. I said, yeah, I can. And secondly, if your kid is getting written up, you need to file a complaint with the federal government that the school's not taking care of your child. That's where that comes in, right? But what people do is they twist the rules, they twist the law. But when you listen to the radio today, they said they need more administrative positions instead of beat cops. That's what you just heard today, right? Yesterday, they put out a report on homelessness. You know what the report on homelessness said? They're not building any houses. They're not building any houses. The government is not building any houses. They're not building out any infrastructural support or institutional support. The only thing that the homeless study put out, that the lady that quit after 2 years, which is weird, is that we're going to spend more money on NGOs in private places. That's the main part of the report. That's all it said. That's what it said. It didn't say they're going to rehab CHA buildings. It didn't say they're going to convert abandoned buildings and make temporary shelters in localized areas. That way people don't have to travel long distances in our city to get shelter. That they're going to open up more 24/7 shelters. Maybe even have drug rehabs inside the shelters so people who are drug addicts get the help. They didn't write any of that in that report. None. There you go. We got a TAC vehicle. That truck there's a TAC vehicle. Yeah, they're selling drugs here today. Yeah, they're selling drugs right there. They're drug dealers right there, man. They're sitting right there. Those are drug dealers right there. Or sitting right there. Right there, drug dealing right in the middle of downtown. I mean, that's what you got. But we don't need more cops, right? That's what they say, right? All right, we're going to listen to 4:30 News, then we'll listen to some radio calls. Here, let me finish with this. Brandon Johnson is now in election mode, meaning he's going to do everything to get elected. So what he's going to do is going to get rid of people, and he's going to say, I fire people who don't listen, or I get rid of people because whatever, right? Which doesn't make sense, because he said crime was down, but he fired his crime guys. That was weird, right? So somebody's lying there. So he does two things. One, it's to scare everybody around him. And they did this at the teachers union. They fire people to get rid of people, to scare the other people and say, look, this is what's going to happen to you. The second thing they do is they hire new people, because it's now a year for an election. And they say, look, if I lose, you're going to be out of a job. So you got to do better. You got to make us look good within a year so that we win the election. It's a trick. They did. And I was at the union. I seen what they did. They did that every time there was an election coming along, a union election. That's how they operated, right? All right, what are we going to do? We're going to go straight or turn? What do you think here? We're going to go this way. So, everything you see is nothing new. All right, let's listen to the news a little bit.
The Nasdaq finishing up 1.2%, while the S&P ended the day gaining 0.7%.
39 degrees, cloudy skies at 4:31. In Chicago, Mayor Johnson announcing a multi-million-dollar investment in affordable housing.
I'm very proud to announce that the city is investing more than $300 million into 15 affordable housing developments across the city of Chicago.
Cheers came from a crowd after hearing more than 1,200 new homes will come to Chicago, with the majority being affordable units.
This will create or preserve 1,223 housing units, 1,164 of which will be affordable.
As part of the 2025 Qualified Allocation Plan, Mayor Johnson says 13 of the 15 developments will be located within a half-mile walk of a train station or high-frequency bus route.
It's not
Three
for poor
developments
people.
will also cater to senior residents.
It takes the strain of rent costs off of our residents' shoulders, and it ultimately pushes us a little closer to our goal of building America's safest, most affordable big city.
City officials say closing on these projects is expected within 18 months. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
CEO of a West Suburban hospital says that his goal is to reopen the National Hospital this summer after it closed last week. State Representative LaShawn Ford said West Suburban's plight is both troubling and an opportunity.
I think that proved that we have to improve state statutes, because so many lives were put at risk because of the closure of the hospital like that. It's an opportunity for us to improve the hospital safety statute in Illinois.
West Suburban faces numerous financial challenges. It says the closure was prompted by a faulty billing system that resulted in the hospital being able to collect only a fraction of its normal revenue. Charges now filed in a shooting and robbery in West Garfield Park.
Chicago police, along with members of the U.S. Marshals Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force, arrested 30-year-old Demontre Enos earlier this week. Investigators say on January 20th, Enos shot and seriously wounded a 48-year-old man near Harrison and Independence. He's also accused of robbing a 42-year-old man and 67-year-old woman at gunpoint in that incident. Charges against Enos now include attempted murder and armed robbery. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
4:33 around the nation, launch preparations back in motion for the Artemis 2 moon mission. Comes after an unspecified issue with the rocket's flight termination system, which would send a self-destruct signal to the rocket in case it veered off course, has now been resolved. The 2-hour launch window opens at 5:24 Chicago time. At that point, 4 astronauts will hurtle several thousand miles beyond the moon, hang a U-turn, and then come straight back in a mission that's expected to last less than 10 days. Well, the highest court heard arguments today over birthright citizenship.
The Supreme Court appears poised to reject President Trump's restrictions on birthright citizenship in a pivotal case the president magnified by showing up. He's the first sitting president to attend oral arguments and heard an administration lawyer face skeptical questions across the spectrum about his order saying kids born to parents in the country illegally or temporarily are not American citizens. Chief Justice John Roberts notes federal law gives citizenship to everyone born on American soil, with exceptions like kids of foreign diplomats and of foreign invaders.
I'm not quite sure how you can get to that big group from such tiny and sort of idiosyncratic examples.
Ketanji Brown Jackson focused on the logistics of figuring out who is entitled to citizenship.
Is this happening in the delivery room?
The president left after about an hour, later posting on social media, "We are the only country in the world stupid enough to allow birthright citizenship. Actually, about 3 dozen do, nearly all in the Americas." Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Congressional Republicans leadership say they're ready to pursue a path to end the Homeland Security shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune announced today what they're calling a path forward to fully fund DHS and end a record partial government shutdown. According to the plan, most of the department could be funded through an agreement with Democratic senators, with the exception of ICE and Border Patrol. Republicans would then later try to fund those agencies through party line budgeting legislation, though neither outcome is guaranteed. And the president preparing to address the nation at a critical moment in the war in Iran.
In a social media post, the president said a ceasefire would be considered, quote, when Hormuz Strait is open, free, and clear. Until then, we are blasting Iran into oblivion. CBS News has learned President Trump is also likely to bash NATO allies in his speech for not helping secure the critical waterway that roughly 20% of the world's oil passes through.
That is CBS's Tina Kraus, and WBBM will carry the live address starting at 8 p.m. Coming up in a minute, low gas prices, traffic, and weather together. It's 4:36.
100 years, one mission. The Better Business Bureau is celebrating its centennial in Chicago. Support business done the right way. Whether you're a consumer or business, you can make a difference. To donate, join, or learn more, visit bbb.org/Chicago100.
Most financial advisors only manage your money. They refer you out for taxes. They refer you out for estate planning. They refer you out when things get complicated. Did they really vet that person? Or did they meet once, exchange business cards, and call it a partnership? A referral isn't accountability. It's a handoff. When your investments, taxes, and estate plan are built separately, gaps happen, and those can cost money. At Trajan, we didn't build a referral network. We built a family office for all. Wealth, tax, estate. One team delivering coordinated planning, once reserved for the ultra-wealthy. If you want real coordination and not just introductions, call Trajan Wealth today. Call Trajan today at 630-230-7400. That's 630-230-7400.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Where are you going, bro? The street's closed, my brother.
News Radio 105.9.
These guys are beeping their horns, man. The street's closed, bro. Where are you going, man? The street's closed. He's beeping his horn and the street's closed in front of him. What an idiot. Moronic freak, man. Think about this. He's beeping his horn because I'm in the middle of the road, but there's no road. The road is closed. And that's what the people are.
These days, please give us a call.
And we're going to listen to some radio calls, some police. We're going to see what kind of crime is happening in a minute.
Still ahead, I'm Mallory. War brokery fight is brewing between Mayor Johnson and the Chicago Housing Authority. It's on the way, but first it's 4:38. Time to check in on the roads now. Neil Fiorito.
In the north suburbs.
The Housing Authority. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of billions of dollars and a lot of houses and nothing's happening, right? You know what affordable housing means, right? They're going to give that to all the liberals that can't afford living in the city. Those of you watching this show, most of you are going to get pushed out of the city. I've been saying that for a little bit of while. And a lot of my friends that I've known for years, family friends, in Pilsen and Little Village have been pushed out. I'm not telling you, look, I'm telling you what's happening, right? I'm not scaring you. I'm not trying to do nothing weird or nothing like that. I'm not into real estate. I don't make money scamming people, telling everybody everything's okay. You know, most of the people that say everything's okay are in real estate or influencers. Everybody knows that one, right? they make money. There's a guy called West Loop Tom. He all goes after me saying that my videos are not true. And I don't know, they're live videos. So I don't know how you say a live video is not true. It's a live video. There is no falsehoods. It is what it is. That's why I do my videos the way I do it. But he makes money off of real estate and investing and all of that crap, right? So if it does, there you go, man. You got a bunch of cops right there. See that there? Oh man, you got 3, 4, you got 6 cops there. You got 6 of them there. See that there? See that there? You got a bunch of cops there. Why? If the city's safe, why do you got cops there, right? Strange, right? If we're safe, then why do you have all the cops there? That's weird, isn't it? You get what I've been saying this for 3 years when I started doing this. Why is there cops in downtown? Why is the sheriff's here? Why is the state police doing the carjacking? Because that's how they dissipate the calls, and that's how they dissipate the data, right? So if a sheriff arrests somebody in downtown, it's not on Chicago, it's a sheriff, and doesn't get counted in Chicago statistics. It gets counted in county statistics. It's separate. So what happens? 2 things happen, right? The county says, oh, look, we're doing our job. And the city says, look, there is no crime in Chicago. And then when you have a shooting on Michigan, they say, well, oh yeah, well, we forgot about that one. Yeah, we forgot about that one. So remember, the way to fight crime is not to wait for the shooting to happen. It's to arrest the shooter before he shoots. Right? That's how you stop crime. Crime enforcement isn't about waiting for somebody to get harmed. It's for stopping the crime when it happens. When somebody calls you and said, everybody knows that firefighter who died, there was a call about that, right? There was a call. The Sun-Times did an article about it. Someone called and said there's a guy in that building, in that abandoned building over there, and there's noise coming out of it, and the cops don't come out to those calls. Right? Let's hear it. We hear that at CHA.
On recess, as the nearly 6 weeks Department of Homeland Security shutdown drags on.
They said they're going to do a CHA story.
Centers and airports, Las Vegas and Disney World have been racked up, and millions of views, fueling growing backlash and intensifying pressure for lawmakers to return. That pressure now extends beyond social media, with unions and President Trump urging Congress to get back to work. And a pioneering female NFL official sued the league over her treatment.
In a new lawsuit, one of the first 3 women to officiate an NFL game describes her 3 years at the pinnacle of her profession as a descent into the grip of a sexist institution unable to treat a woman as an equal. Robin DiLorenzo cited gender-based scrutiny, humiliation, and open hostility among the indignities she suffered from 2022 to 25 as a league official. The lawsuit in Manhattan federal court filed Friday sought reinstatement along with unspecified damages. An NFL spokesperson said DiLorenzo was terminated following 3 seasons of underperformance and called the lawsuit baseless. I'm Gavin Coolbaugh.
In Chicago, spring weather can be unpredictable. We're expecting thunderstorms to rapidly develop. These storms could pack a punch. Plan ahead with our 5-day forecast at 15 past the hour. Sponsored by 4 Seasons Heating Air Conditioning.
So the idea has to be is this. For there to be accountability, there has to be people who do their jobs. And the police have to do their jobs, like the city workers have to do their jobs. And when people start doing their jobs and they get a call that says there's an abandoned building there and there's somebody inside of it, you go and check it out. In one of the shootings that happened over the weekend, there was a cop said, I forget, it was maybe a car-to-car shooting. Said, oh, that's the regular blah, blah, blah. And up 2 people getting shot. If you listen to my early radio calls from 3 years ago on the Red Line, the first thing they say, those are the regulars. The regulars. What do you mean the regulars? Do you kind of get what I'm saying? So these people were destroying the train, smoking on the train, doing drugs on the train, drinking on the train, robbing people on the train, beating people on the train. That's when the guy here, when the kid got killed over here. There was a kid, you remember that? A fight started with a guy, he fell down the stairs, he had his kid, and his kid died. Right here, don't you remember that? Harrison over here, I think. I think on that call they said, it's the regulars. What do you mean the regulars? So you know who the criminals are and you don't stop them from doing criminal stuff or going on the train? There's a lot of those calls. I gotta pull those tapes. There's hundreds of them, thousands of them. So think about it. What did I just tell you earlier in talking? The police seen the shooters. The police see a crime. The police say it's the regulars. And I'll tell you this. 2 weeks ago, a man named Jerry Lewis, a black man that was in charge of a $7 to $9 billion project to rebuild the black neighborhood by United Center. Do you know the police watched him get murdered? They watched him get murdered. The police watched that man get murdered. They did not stop the murder. They witnessed the murder. That's the story that's not being told out of that. Supposedly they were going to pull these guys over or whatever they were going to do. But instead of protecting the man and saying, "No, that looks a little suspicious," or you know what, that don't look right, the guy got murdered right in front of the police. No one is telling that story, and it's all on video. There's all these places out in that area by the United Center. It's all videos over there. So we're gonna see the videos, right? There's videos all in Hyde Park. Where's the videos of those, right? There's videos in all these neighborhoods, but we don't get those videos, do we? We don't get the pod cams. We don't get the body cams. We don't. Why? Because it shows the police are not doing their job. I'm not saying an individual police officer is bad. I'm saying you're following bad policy and you're not protecting the citizens. You're not protecting the city you work in. You're allowing crime to happen rather than preventing crime. And that's where we need to start going. And this is what I'll tell you, and I'll shut my mouth. How do you know that Brandon Johnson's pro-criminal and pro-crime and pro-harm? He's pro-harm. Brandon Johnson's pro-harm. He wants people to be harmed. He wants you to be harmed. He wants you to be shot. He wants your family to be ripped off. He wants what did we have? The 21-year-old that was raped? Didn't we just have a rape victim over here? The lady was raped right here. Right down the street, right here. Right here, Millennium Parking Drive, Monday morning. 6 in the morning, she was raped. She was raped right here. By a predator. Right here. Well, I'll go around the block. I'll show you guys. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know he picks the criminals over the victims? How do you know that? When he says treatment, not trauma. The word treatments means what? What is the word? I'm going to stop here because I want to show you guys these guys, right? The word treatment means what? That means you've been harmed. He says, I'm not going to cause trauma and arrest criminals. I want to treat the victim afterwards. He says it. Treatment versus trauma. That's his philosophy. That means he wants you to be harmed. He wants you to be hurt. He wants you to be ripped off. That's his philosophy. Why? Because when there's treatment, he can make money off of it, right? All right, 4:48 p.m. here, April 1st, 2026. Ida B. Wells. There you go. See the cardboard there? There. That's trauma. Right? There. That's our city streets right there. You're looking at it. There you go. SubX.News. And this is State Street. There you go. This is State Street. most of the time. And there's some potholes right there. So, think about his philosophy. Treatment, not trauma. Treatment means there's been trauma. You don't need treatment. Think about it. What's the philosophy about health? You want to be in bad health and go see the doctor for treatment? No. What's the push in health in our society the last 20 to 30 years? Not even prevention. There's a step before prevention, because prevention says you might have something happen to you. Prevention means prevention means there's a chance that something bad might happen. I need to put up a security gate because there might be somebody who steals my stuff. I need to have cameras to catch the robber that harms me, right? That's prevention, right? You're trying to prevent a crime from happening. Well, the same thing in healthcare. There's preventative healthcare, but there's a before preventative healthcare's holistic living. It's not about preventative medicine. It's about living your life to a regular life. Let me park here. I got to put up a video. Do you kind of get the difference here? So, when you talk about preventative, that means you're preventing something from happening bad to you. That means you're inferring. Now I'm talking big talk and all these studies, right? But follow me here. First of all, in Chicago, there's no prevention. We clean it up afterwards. In Chicago, they want trauma because then it justifies their pay. That's what it is here. So then there's prevention, meaning, okay, we're going to spend more money to fight the criminals. Keystone Cop shit, right? We're going to chase them around, play around. We're going to arrest a few guys. We're going to do whatever. We're going to put some in prison. We're going to do war on drugs. Okay, that helps out. That stops crime, lowers crime. Okay. Then they get out of prison and we got to pay them $20 million. All these people that are getting out of prison, it's from the war on drugs. You guys make that connection, right? But the real way to live is to do what? To live healthy. To live normally. To have morals. To have values. To not want to steal. To not want to harm. To not want trauma, right? Man, that's a tall dude there. Look at that guy. That's a tall dude there. See that guy right there? That's a tall guy right there. It's a really tall guy. See that guy right there? That's a tall dude there. He's coming out of school there. So, the idea shouldn't be that we're going to prevent crime, which we should to get rid of it, is how do we do what? Live a life where we're not having to have security cameras. We don't have to weaponize ourselves. We weaponize ourselves. We have to carry certain utensils to ward off carjackers, right? Because why? The cops are watching the carjacker carjack people, right? More trauma. People sleeping on the sidewalk here at Ida B. Wells and State Street by the abandoned Robert Morris University. 4:50 p.m. April 1st, 2026. I don't know if I'm making any sense. And I'm going to put on some radio calls because I'm starting to talk too much. You kind of get where I'm trying to go with that? If we're talking treatment and trauma, that's already a failure. It's a failure. It's a failure. If I'm talking about having to put the club on my car, that's a failure. If I'm talking about putting up a fence in my house so I don't have a burglar come in, that's a failure. If I have to worry about my son or my daughter being videotaped or harmed inside the bathroom because the opposite comes in there to take advantage of them, that's a failure. Right? That's a failure. My son or daughter or my house or my car or my valuables shouldn't have to be worried about being robbed, hurt, or harmed. That's not the appropriate society. And then here's the thing. They say that the colonizer does it. So what they do is they equate crime with colonization and with white people. That's what they equate it with. So what did I say when I was working at the school earlier, right? Now I'm making a full circle. They said that since that guy has an IEP, he has a disability, he can do crime. And then it's the colonizer's fault that he's doing crime. How's the colonizer's fault that he's doing crime again? I still haven't figured that one out. How is it the colonizer's fault that they're doing crime? I thought the colonizer was the guy that's supposed to be doing crime. Get that? So none of their stuff makes sense because why? They're the ones that are doing the crime. They're the ones that are enabling the crime. They want crime. Why? Because that's how they get their money. That's what I just wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say with all that talking there. I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm listening to some radio calls. Let's see what's going on at the police stations and see if we're missing any crime. We'll see what's going on and where we end up today. I don't know yet.
Frequency mode.
It's all about money. People making money off of others, right?
Okay, yeah, they're saying it's going to be a black Hyundai SUV. It went either northbound or southbound on King from 35th. 733, was that you coming in?
Yeah, 99. We have an 87 on the red line. Just unconscious.
Yep, just an unconscious male on the train. Cook County 1305 is on scene right now giving Narcan.
99.
There you go. Narcan on the train. Narcan on the train during rush hour. Narcan on the train during the rush hour. Which, let's listen to what train that was, right? So think about it. Someone's doing drugs on the train. They have illegal drugs on. You don't know what drugs they have, and they're doing that on the train. While your daughter, your son, your grandma, your grandpa, your dad, your mom are on the train.
Cook County 1305 on Citywide 1.
You just heard that. I'm not making that up.
1305, your dispatch just called us and said that it's actually 2 victims over there at 87 in the red line. Can you advise?
4, give me a sec. So what do you got? Oh, how many? Can I get descriptions or whatever?
No, we only had the one. Male, adult, car number 5597, unresponsive. That's the only one we had.
Where's that train at, Curly?
87 in the red line on the northbound side, car number 5597.
10-4, 176. Go ahead and pull that train into 87. Stop it. Narcan being administered.
387, David. 787, David.
Get check, blue, Logan.
Yep, that is 0916.
County 1305 on Citywide.
County 1305. Cook County 1305, go ahead.
That person down, my officers are on scene. Where's that train at, Curly?
It's supposed to be 87 in the red line on the northbound side, car number 5597.
10-4, 176. Go ahead and pull that train into 87. Stop it. Narcan being administered.
Alright, very good, thank you.
7317.
7316.
Yeah, that 87 red line is the last rail car of the train.
Okay, very good. Cook County, it is in the station. It's the last rail car all the way at the end.
10-4, thanks.
H1.
You just heard it.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, 5-4 up and available.
Alright, 10-4.
You just heard it. They didn't prevent the guy from going on the train to do drugs. They didn't prevent the guy from buying drugs. They didn't prevent the guy from doing drugs. They allowed the guy to do all of those 3 pieces, and now they're overdosed on the train, stopping the train during a rush hour, and we don't know what drugs they have and who they infected. There you go. You just heard what I just talked about. That's real time. That just happened now. 2 guys overdosed on 87th Street Red Line. You just heard it. And now we have a stolen car. Listen up.
Cook County 1305, go ahead.
That person down, my officers are on scene. Where's that train at, Curly?
It's supposed to be 87 in the red line on the northbound side, car number 5597.
10-4, 176. Go ahead and pull that train into 87. Stop it. Narcan being administered.
Alright,
good, thank you. 7317. 7317. Yeah, the 87 red line. It's the last rail car of the train.
Okay, very good. Cook County, it is in the station. It's the last rail car all the way at the end.
10-4, thanks.
H1. H1, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, 5. Order up and available.
All right, 10-4. Zone 7's coming in with a 2 people shot, 35 and King, 35th and King. They may need you. They haven't asked, but that's the only thing I got going on right now.
9-4.
2 people shot, 35th and King Drive.
SUV. It went either northbound or southbound on King from 35th. 733, was that you coming in?
Yeah, 99. Would you have that 87 on the red line? Just a, unconscious.
Yep, just an unconscious male on the train. Cook County 1305 is on scene right now giving Narcan.
99.
And Cook County 1305 on City 1305, your dispatch just called us and said that it's actually 2 victims over there at the red line. Can you advise?
Well, give me a sec. Which one do you got? Oh, how many? Can I get a description or whatever?
No, we only had the one. Male, adult, car number 5597, unresponsive. That's the only one we had.
1305, be advised, we administer Narcan to a subject. I'll verify when I get on thing. I'm at 76 and Lafayette.
Okay, 10-4, thank you, sir.
7383, I'm on scene over here.
7383, very good. Just let me know if you're going to need another ambulance. I have ambulance 79 en route, but only the one so far.
99. 7383, David.
783, David.
Number Garfield, red line.
Yeah, that is 08980.
5700
5700
CH is interested. Currently going westbound. 800 West Garfield Boulevard is a stolen black Audi Q7 SUV tinted out. Frank Williams, 59713 on the plate.
Alright, 10-4. PH1. Hey, westbound Garfield.
What do you think those guys are doing there, huh?
Audi SUV, Frank Williams, 59713.
What do you think those guys are doing right
from this afternoon?
What do you think they're doing there? What do you think those 2 guys are doing right there?
Westbound Garfield from Halstead.
7383, David.
783, David.
Are you getting anything from CTA on the red line train getting stopped at Garfield?
At Garfield? No, nothing at Garfield.
Alright, somewhere.
Blowing up, baby. Red line blowing up. It's payday. Everybody got their welfare checks. That's what's happening.
Show us on a ride mission.
That's what's happening. Drugs, crime, and mayhem. Because the checks are being cut.
09009. 783.
Number for Howard red line.
Yep, that is 09014.
383 Henry.
783 Henry.
40 bus 1529 headed northbound from 61st on Ashwood.
Yep, that is 09018.
7386 Charlie.
786 Charlie.
Let's hear what they're happening on the news, right? What kind of money of ours they're spending, right?
Can move forward. The suit was filed by 6 people with ties to Evanston who argue if race was deleted from the city ordinance, they would qualify for reparations. They're represented by the conservative group Judicial Watch, which claims providing money only to black people violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Evanston launched the first publicly funded municipal reparations program in the U.S. in 2019.
awarding payments to address housing segregation decades ago. U.S. District Judge John Ness, a Trump appointee, declined Evanston's effort to have the case dismissed. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A new safety campaign aims to improve safety outcomes for women and girls who ride the CTA.
The Protect Women Period campaign was born out of conversations Delilah Martinez was having with the teenage girls she mentors through her program Big Sis Club.
Once I started hearing our girls taking the CTA and they have had issues taking the CTA, whether their phone is getting stolen, men are following them, men are invading their space by asking for a hug, or just making women feel unsafe, I feel like I had to do something about it.
Martinez says her campaign includes social media interviews with influential men and safety resources for women. She says she also hopes to install billboards and get campaign materials on CTA.
I thought crime was down.
Feel heard. I want women to know that their call for help, vulnerability,
really?
and feeling unsafe is heard. It's noticed and it's valued, and it's important that we do something about it.
Martinez says she's speaking with the mayor's office and the CTA about ways to collaborate on the campaign. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
West Suburban Hospital has a goal of reopening this summer.
West Suburban Hospital in Oak Park closed last week, citing a faulty billing system that resulted in the hospital being able to collect only about 10% of its normal revenue. Resilience Healthcare CEO Dr. Manoj Prasad runs West Suburban.
Luckily, we had no treatment-related issue. The issue was on the billing and collection side. It has resulted in what happened at Weiss because we didn't have money that we were collecting to fix the systems in time. So it has caused a lot of problems. Yeah, absolutely.
Prasad referred to Weiss Memorial Hospital in Chicago's Uptown neighborhood, which is also owned by Resilience. Weiss closed last year. Prasad hopes to fully reopen West Suburban by July. It has tens of millions in debt. State Representative LaShawn Ford.
There has to be some type of infusion of money to reopen this hospital.
Terry Keschner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We have a happy update on a missing 15-year-old from Rogers Park. Investigators say Arlena Lee Jackson has been found safe. Her family did not provide an update on where she was found. But
I wonder how much of that millions of dollars in debt to those hospitals was migrant care. We should investigate that one, huh? Where's Pam Zeckman when we need her? Or Dave Savini? John Drummond, the Bulldog Drummond. Where are those guys? Why are we so much in debt in the hospitals? They got extra money during COVID. They got PPP. Every hospital got extra money for COVID. Think about this. We got extra money for COVID. Extra money. All of a sudden, we're in debt. But what happened in the middle of all that? We got all the migrants, didn't we? Think about it. I might be wrong. This is my tin hat talking here. Someone should look into that.
Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
In Indiana, the governor cracking down on online predators.
Governor Mike Braun has signed 2 new laws to protect Indiana children online. The first requires social media platforms to get parental consent before allowing kids under 16 to create accounts and limits direct messaging and algorithm-driven content for minors. The second raises penalties for predators who possess or distribute child sex abuse material and tightens offender registration requirements. Indiana State Police arrested nearly 500 people for crimes against children just last year, rescuing 126 kids from ongoing abuse. Governor Braun is also expanding the state's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force by 50 officers statewide. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It is 5:08. You know what time that means. Time for traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Neil Theory.
We're going to a shooting call down there on 35th Street. Chipotle, 2 people shot.
Starting up here northbound before Lake Cook Road to Deerfield Road, and that's due to a crash in the left lane before you get stuck in all that traffic before it gets worse.
That's just on our radio calls, right? So there you go. So now there's women's groups that are being attacked on a daily basis, saying we are being attacked every single day. But they're afraid to say the city ain't doing nothing because why? They want the money. They're NGOs. They're NGOs with their hand out. Rather than developing institutional protections, institutional organizations inside the government, not outside the government, NGOs have their hands out. See, that's the part that I don't agree with privatization. That's wrong. You can't privatize public safety. You can't privatize Streets and sanitation. You can't privatize water. We know water privatization happens. They poisoned all those people in Flint, Michigan. That was privatization. Everybody knows Flint, Michigan was privatization, right? They poisoned all those people in Flint, Michigan through privatization. No one went to prison. No one went to prison. None. Zero. Interesting. And that was Republicans, wasn't it? I think that was. So Democrats and Republicans, they're the same. Let's listen to these radio calls. What actually happened here? We can get to this. What's over here on 35th and King, right?
Charlie. 786 Charlie. Bedford, Clark, and Lake Blue.
Alright, there's cops happening right there.
09029. 7388.
Look at all the potholes, man. Look at the road, how bad it is.
Get event number for a ride mission.
Look at the potholes. Look at that.
To the medical district. Alright, that is 09038. 386 David. 386 David. Yeah, that number is Chicago Red. Yep, that is 09040. County 1305 on City Wild 1. County 1305, go ahead. As you guys know, it was just one subject, it was a male Hispanic. Over 87th Street. Just the one. Alright, 10-4, thank you.
Male Hispanic overdosed.
832 units and 18 in the citywide. I got a person with a gun at Pearson and State of Pearson. It's a male driving a blue Porsche, pulled on the side of the collar. Male white with a lot of tattoos on his arm. Said that he had a gun and would kill the caller. No further description. Don't force clear.
3211. 11. Info from ISG, inbound ramp to go from the Skyway to the inbound Dan Ryan. There is a broken down truck. No further description. Okay, front of the bus. Charlie. Yep, man is 09064. 4719. 4719. Can you put me on Blue Camera United Center, please? Alright, here you go. Thank you. No. 7383. 73. Yeah, you can get this guy to Embo 79. I own a little company. Either way. Alright, very good.
Going to Little Company of Mary. The overdose.
08880. And I'm clear, thanks.
Going to Little Company of Mary.
386 Adam. 786 Adam. Look at the number for Roosevelt at the green line, please. Yeah, that is 09082. 714. That car is going to be at Garfield and Damon, turning westbound now. Can we get another car so we can put a stop on this? 714 and Citywide 1, 10-4. That's going to be the stolen vehicle, the stolen Audi. 10-4. Alright, 10-4. Damon, southbound from Garfield. PH1. PH1, we got
Damon Garfield, stolen car, they're trying to stop it.
Actually, 1 second. Any correction on that, it's actually westbound Garfield. Westbound Garfield from Damon, still 714 is behind it.
So they're being more aggressive.
Guys, we gotta put the camera on it. Alright, 10-4. PH1's working to put the camera on it. Westbound Garfield from Oakley, they still have eyes on it. Where are they going?
Westbound from...
Alright, Garfield and Western. Garfield and Western at Stoppy. Yeah, PH1, we have eyes on them. They're making contact with the driver. Alright, PH1 has eyes on them, making contact with the driver, Garfield and Western. And I got one detained over there. Garfield and Western, one detained from our stolen black Audi. Boom, PH1. Right? Boom, shakalaka.
Garfield and Western, black Audi, one in custody.
714 on Citywide.
714, go ahead.
Give us a slow down to anybody coming over here. We have the driver detained.
Very good, nice job, guys. One detained with the driver and slow it down. Garfield Western, take a slow down. They got the vehicle and they got the driver.
3211, can I get that back number for that disabled vehicle?
11, yeah, temporary 09049. 09049.
One in custody at Western. It's a black stolen Audi. We're caught up on our radio calls. So we got people overdosing on the Red Line train during rush hour. We have a stolen car that was just pulled over and somebody in custody on Western. And we heard there might be 2 people shot down here on 35th and King Drive. That's where we're going now. We heard. Now we're going to see it. Maybe I should go down 33rd, huh?
09170.
Well, thank you.
I want to write a paper, and you guys might help me if somebody likes to do traffic stuff. Why do we have a green light where it lets me turn, but yet people are wanting to crosswalk? Why don't we make lights where the cars move, and then all the cars stop? And then only when all the cars are stopped do people walk. So you have 3 sets of lights. One for north and south, one for east and west, and one for the people walking. So we don't have people in the crosswalks when cars are moving. If somebody wants to help me write that paper, and let's do it. I'll put it under your name. It's all right with me. And I've been thinking about that. It's not, you see just what was happening. I had a green light. I'm turning. I had the green light. I had the right of way. But yet there was pedestrians in the crosswalk. So now I'm in the middle of the street while people are walking while I have a green light. Why don't we just not, there's a helicopter up here. You see the helicopter, right? So there must be a shooting over here. Yeah, well, look up all the stats of crime, crashes, and crosswalks. That's what you need to do. You need to look up stats of people hitting crosswalks. And then you need to cross-reference that with other countries if they do other things. And then propose it, right? Right? How that works, right? Maybe those turnarounds, that's another, I think, thing to think about, but it really doesn't solve the crossing the street problem. Yeah, 35th and King Drive, 2 people are shot. The helicopter's right up here. I can hear it. It's right over here, right? Well, yeah. You can do it, Marietta. Here, how about this? Today I went to sleep at 9 a.m., all right? So I did my work until 9 o'clock this morning. So I got up at 2:30 in the afternoon. So you can help out. Yeah, I have ideas and I put them out there, so I don't mind it. Me and you're supposed to do a podcast, right? I just haven't got my head around that yet. The scheduling, right? Scheduling guests, scheduling restaurants, and all of that takes time, right? I just haven't done it. So sorry about all of that stuff. But yeah, if you want to do something, go ahead. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. 35th and King Drive. Someone's supposed to be shot around here, right? Let's look around. 2 shot. Oh, there they are, right over there.
Let's look at event number for Jackson Blue Line.
Right there.
Yeah, that is
Roads, right?
9206.
There we go. 2 shot. So SubX.News. Two shot. 35th and Rhodes. 35th and Rhodes. Two shot. Two people shot.
PH is interested. Currently going southbound I-94, 59th Street, level lane 2 is a stolen gold tan.
Another car, stolen car. They're looking for.
214 in the plate.
Alright, man, you need to move out of the way. You're in the middle of a shooting scene, lady. There you go. Shooting scene. Two people shot. 35th and Rhodes. 35th and Rhodes.
Copy. You're on the west side right now looking for N7109 Charlie 1 to City Wide. We'll try to head down there while they look for that Nissan. Just keep giving us updates if you can.
Charlie 1 for 5700M. Charlie 1's going to take the Dan Ryan. You want to keep calling.
Well, there's no sunroof, no tint. Pretty clean looking car. And it's just more of a golden color than beige is listed.
There you go, middle of rush hour, two people shot. That's what you got, man. This is a rough area, man.
3710.
3710.
You guys okay? There are two, right? SubX.News. Two people shot here, right? Let's get out of here, huh? SubX.News on the spot reporting here. Two people shot. 35th and Rhodes.
Golden color, no tents, no sunroof. Pretty clean looking car.
10-4. 3710.
3710.
Two people shot.
I just saw that. Was that a Chevy 310?
Yeah, it should be like a gold Chevy Cruze.
It is in number 2.
Two people shot here.
Approaching 63rd southbound. It looks like a female.
35th and Rhodes. There's a guy murdered right over there. What, about 3-4 months ago?
Alright, younger female one driver, southbound in the number 2 lane at 63rd.
Charlie 1 copy for less than a minute now.
Report of two people shot here. Hey, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while, man. What's up, brother? Be safe, man.
Just missed this.
That's good.
I'm seeing Taco Bell, didn't hit nothing.
Yeah, two people shot down here on 35th and Rhodes. Rush hour. Over here by the Dunkin' Donuts. People going about their business, man. We still got to deal with this stuff. There you go. You got the helicopters up there. You got all kinds of stuff going on. Man, you got tape everywhere. Look at that. So that's where the shooting's at over there. See that over there? Oh man, the glass is shot out. See that there? The glass is shot out there by the Dunkin' Donuts or the Subway. See that there? I don't even know how to get over here. I don't know what's going on here, man. You got all kinds of crazy stuff happening here. I don't even know where the crime scene is here. I said I didn't even know where the crime scene was because I was parked right there by the Dunkin' Donuts. There you go. SubX.News. There you go. Oh man. Dunkin' Donuts window shot out there. There you go. They're looking for the bullet casings. SubX.News. SubX.News. Two people shot. 35th and Rhodes. There you go. Mayhem, chaos, and murder. There you go. Two or one? They said two.
All right, now in lane number 3 of the local southbound at 60.
In the Dunkin' Donuts? Uh-huh.
And it was a little girl.
I won't put you on it. I'm on Citizen.
Yeah, it was a little girl. A lady was holding a little girl, and they said she got shot in the foot, and they said 2 other people got shot. The lady was standing, the lady and the
So
little
maybe
girl,
3 then.
Yeah, the lady and the little girl was standing next to a lady that got shot.
What, just bystanders?
Yeah.
So shooting between other people and innocent people get hurt, right?
Right.
Take it easy. You be safe. SubX.News, all right? There you go. They say maybe 3 shot here. There you go. Look at all the bullet holes over there, man. Shot up here, man. There you go. SubX.News. Shot up. SubX.News. You heard. Innocent people getting hurt. Is that my friend there? Is that my dark-skinned brother? My twin? That's my twin over there. What's up, my brother? How's your back doing? Better or not? I don't want to put you. Can you be on TV or not? I can't put somebody on TV that's right next to me, but he's a really, really great friend of mine. And actually, he's a lot better looking than me. Oh, just got out here. I think I'm in the crime scene now, where I parked. Hi, what are you hearing? 2 or 3? They said a girl in the foot. They would not have been bystanders.
Charlie 1 on 55. We actually have eyes on that Chevy Cruise. All right, Charlie 1 now has eyes on the Chevy Cruise southbound of Dan Ryan from 63rd.
I'm trying to do a whole bunch of stuff here. There you go. So you got the subway that's shut out. Dunkin'. Now this is what I always say. All those businesses are now shut down. So they can't make no money today, right?
Southbound I-94, 59th Street, Low Lanes 2 is a stolen gold tan Chevrolet Cruze. Frank John, 14214 in the plate.
At least 2 people shot down here on 35th and Rhodes. The subway and the Dunkin' Donuts windows are shot out. I talked to a witness. There might be 3 people shot here. Sounds like there was gunfire happening between some people. And these are innocent bystanders. 5:26 p.m. April 1st, 2027.
Charlie 1, all right, 10-4, 5700M, Charlie 1's going to
5:27 p.m. April 1st, 2026.
Happy we will. There's no sunroof, no tint, pretty clean looking car, and it is more of a golden color. Other than beige is listed.
Okay, 10-4, more golden color, no tints, no sunroof, pretty clean looking car.
10-4. 3710.
3710.
I believe I just saw that. Was that a Chevy, Frank John?
Yeah, it should be like a gold Chevy Cruze.
It is in number 2 lane, approximately pushing 63rd southbound. It looks like a female black driving, a younger female black. I just happened to be
see the
driving
windows
by.
shot out, right?
Alright, younger female 1 driver, southbound in the number 2 lane at 63rd.
Let's pray for those people, right?
Copy for Western Minute out.
786 Adam.
786 Adam.
That number rolls about red light, please.
Yep, that is 09260.
Let me take a few pictures here, all right?
700 Adam.
Do me a favor, guys. If you see some good pictures, take some screenshots from me, all right?
That Chevrolet Cruze.
All right, now in lane number 3 of the local southbound at 63rd.
There you go. Shout out the Subway and the Dunkin' Donuts. Shout out.
7386 Charlie. 86 Charlie.
Barking Lake Blue, that number?
Yep, that is 09291.
Charlie 1 on 55. We actually have eyes on that Chevy Cruze.
All right, Charlie 1 now has eyes on the Chevy Cruze southbound of Dan Ryan from 63rd.
Got all the news crews out here, right?
And 5700 Adam.
5700.
Just to let you know, that one on Garfield ended up being a domestic situation, I guess. She had her children with her, too. They're going to escort her.
At least 2 people got shot there.
Customer or salesman?
I think the bystanders.
Bystander.
There was some shooting happening and a couple of people got shot. So 2 people might have been fighting, and then the shooting started and innocent people got shot.
Innocent?
Yeah.
Not a fighting guy.
That's usually what happens, my brother.
God.
They should learn how to shoot, right?
What kind of color?
I don't know. Here's the one thing. I do reporting.
Yeah, I know.
The businesses are closed. That's the bigger problem.
Yeah.
Every time this happens, the business is closed. And yes, it's bad when somebody gets hurt. That's bad. But that harms the business. SubX.News. I'm independent.
Oh, you're independent.
Independent. Those are the big guys right there. There you go. Those are the big guys over there.
Yep, it is 09328. Thank you. Alright, yeah, Lafayette exit approaching 7-1. Approaching 7-1. Lafayette approaching 7-1. Stop on Lafayette, coming up to 7-1. 7387 Adam. 87. Get an O'Hare platform check, please. Yep, that is 09338.
What is that guy trying to get on TV? Where? I'm independent. Why? What's up?
A cameraman by the back in the day named Morris Jennings.
What? White guy, black guy, what? Maybe. I go back about 20 years, so I probably know him by face. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences. Morris Jennings, right? All right, I'll look him up.
7-4 for the Chevy Cruise.
Alright, for the unit 2 and Citywide, we got an anonymous call. Shots fired, 35th and Key Drive to 35th. There were people shooting out of 2 smoky gray trucks. They may look black at night, went down Key Drive towards 22nd Street, nothing further.
Oh my goodness.
You got it? Man, everybody's here. Who's buying dinner tonight?
I believe we just saw it on camera. Southbound Lafayette from 7-5 in heavy traffic. 386 is the air crew. 816, we got the number Chicago Red. Yep, that is 09361. That's still stuck in traffic at 7-6 Lafayette. It's like 4 cars back. Alright, still stuck in traffic at 7-6 Lafayette. That is 376, still southbound Lafayette. Alright, manage traffic southbound Lafayette from 7-6.
Gotta zip up my sweater, I'm cold. There you go. It's all shot out. You see that there? The whole window is shot out. See that there? Look at that. SubX.News.
Alright, still Lafayette south past
See that there? SubX.News on the spot reporting. 2 people shot at least.
And 378 now. I'm sorry, 79379. 379 now. Top on Lafayette, 379.
There you go, shot out. There you go, SubX.News.
Kind of car. The gold Chevy Cruise, Frank John, 14214, should be driven by a female one.
All shot out.
Straight steel. Heavy traffic at 83rd, too.
Shooting on here, at least 2 people shot, maybe 3. But the report was 2. SubX.News on the spot reporting here, 35th and Rhodes. Shooting. The business shut down, people shot. We heard there might have been, these were bystanders that were shot during a fight. They're walking through the crime scene, as you see. How's your store over there? They weren't going after you, right? I heard it was outside, right? I'm glad you're safe, my brother.
Because I'm not here.
All right, you be safe, all right, brother? All right, be safe, my brother. So he said, that guy's from the store there. He says that was from shoot bullets from the outside.
Stuck in traffic right around 41 West 81, 41 West 81, still stuck in traffic. Alright, stuck in traffic, 10-4 at 81. 1 squad. Lafayette. You said 70 Cruise? Correct. The gold Chevy Cruise should be stuck in traffic about E1 in Lafayette, facing southbound. Alright, just past E2. Third or right lane. Alright, 10-4, right lane. Past E2, got its right turn signal on, coming up to, it'll still select traffic, but coming up to 83rd. It's definitely the car. That's the one. Alright, 10-4. Alright, so it's moving. I'm guessing it's going to make a right-hand turn at 83 to go westbound. Coming up to 83 now. Approaching 83rd now. Gotta be stuck in traffic again at 83rd and Lafayette. It does have the right turn signal on to go westbound on 83.
At least 2 people shot here at 35th and Rhodes at the Subway and Dunkin' Donuts. They were outside and there's some kind of a gunfight and shot towards the stores. Both the Dunkin' Donuts and Subway are shot up.
Yeah, they do. They're just busy. They're still stuck there. Southbound 83rd and Lafayette at the light with the right turn signal on. Okay, just got the green.
They're looking for a stolen car. It might be related to this. We don't know.
Go southbound Lafayette. All right, it continued southbound Lafayette from 83rd.
There you go, man. SubX.News. What's up, my brother? All right. Trying to stay out of the trouble. The first one I covered a few years ago when I started doing this was down on 116th in Michigan. 4 people shot. I think 1 or 2 died. But that's the first thing I said. They shut down all the businesses. It harms us. The people that ain't related to this.
Exactly.
And then imagine if you're running that store, right?
That's crazy.
You just lost all that money. And that's not saying, I'm not saying the victims aren't, that's bad. But this is bigger than, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you said, you want a coffee, you want to relax, right? Or they shoot up a bus or something, you know what I mean? The bus stop. SubX.News, by the way. Be safe, my brother.
Frank John 14214. Frank John 142. Frank John 14214. Yep, that's the one.
There you go, shot out here. So you got 2 stores shut out. You got the Subway and you got the Dunkin' Donuts. There you go.
Street. It's about 4 cars behind the light going southbound on Lafayette. It's turning into
turning into that,
I think I'm in the crime scene. My car is parked over there.
Perspectives here.
We'll see. Yeah, man, you got walk-through glass and everything, man. That's about a half hour ago, 45 minutes ago. Just now, man. You just missed it. No, it sounded like it was shooting outside and the bullets went that way. Oh, you gotta get bullet holes, man.
Alright,
10-4. White Castle. That coffee is so-so. No, I know what you're talking about, my brother.
I think they get out of here.
2, maybe 3.
Take it out Homeland Security check in the 7th District, please.
2, maybe 3. Bystanders. Said it wasn't targeted here. There was some kind of a fight or something, gunfight or something. I don't know if it was there, here, and bystanders were hit. Maybe a little girl in the foot, they're saying. Innocent people, not the whatchamacallits. I hate to talk like that, I'm old-fashioned. We always used to say that when we grew up. Do your thing, you do your thing, but don't hurt innocent people, right? And now the businesses are closed, right? There you go, all shot out. SubX.News, and you know, you got businesses here. These are all innocent people here, right? Innocent people all around here, and we got to deal with this crime. And I don't know, there's a bunch of people standing there. I get they're standing there, but why are all those cops standing here, right? There we go, right? SubX.News, there you go. That's all shot out. You see that? 2 stores shot out. A couple of people, they were fighting, and I guess there was some gunfire here, and they went that way, so they weren't shooting at the stores, so. But a couple of 2, maybe 3 bystanders.
Always the
A little girl. They're saying a little girl, maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe a girl or a teenager. Okay. Yeah, they're getting her out of school. School's right over there. Yeah, I know. That school's right there.